Hey everybody, Joe from Treadmill Heroes here. Do you have a Nordic Trek treadmill that's not powering on? One of the things we need to take a look at, believe it or not, is your drive motor. Now I've already pulled this thing out and I've taken the motor hood off, but I want to show you a couple wires on this thing that might be contributing to your problem. Now we want to make sure that your treadmill is turned off, right? Make sure that make sure the darn thing is just, unplugged from the wall. Okay, now inside of here, you have right over here, I can even show you. First things first, we got your on-off switch, right? I got that one turned, I got it turned off right now. And then from your on-off switch, you've got a black wire, which is your power wire, right? Your hot wire, and it runs through the on-off switch, which is basically like a breaker. And then you got this mysterious blue wire that comes out of there. And that blue wire, if you follow it, goes all the way into the motor. And then, after it runs into the motor, it comes back out, and then it goes right down there into the motor control board, into the port that is labeled AC hot. Now, why in the world would we have a power wire going into the drive motor right here, right? Because the other two wires that are going into your drive motor are your what feed power to the motor itself to make it spin. Your black and your red wire here. Red goes onto the motor control board down here where it says motor plus, and the black goes on motor negative, just like a car battery. But back to this mysterious blue wire. So you can actually take a look at it. I'm going to open it up here. You can just pry open the side of the cap. And it's spring-loaded, because this is your motor brush, which we'll talk about in a different video. But right there, I've always just considered this like a heat sensor. So what this does is this sits down inside your motor, and if the motor gets too hot when you're running it, or if there's a short or something like that, or maybe this little heat sensor goes bad, as the power comes through from the wall, basically, and through the on-off switch, this sensor sits in here, and if the motor gets too hot while you're using it, this thing will basically shut itself off, and it'll kill power going down to the motor control board to basically protect the other electronics that are inside of this machine. So sometimes this little heat sink wire can go bad. And one of the ways that we can test it is with a multimeter. So hopefully you guys have a multimeter like this or something similar, and you want to put the setting to the ohms, which looks like the little horseshoe thing right there. And there's a couple different modes, but you want to get it to where it's on the horseshoe, and you can hit the mode button a couple times until you can touch the leads. And that means you got continuity, a good connection. If this is bad, then when you put your leads in each end, they won't beep. But you can just put one end of your lead into one end of the wire and then one into the other end. Magic. If this was bad, that means the connection inside of here is bad, and it's not going to be feeding power through the power switch into the motor and then back down to the motor control board. So yes, believe it or not, you could have an issue around your drive motor, and that's why the unit's not powering on.